Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we are diving into something, well, it's pretty personal actually. We're
Oh,
talking about couples and sleep.
okay. Interesting.
Yeah, and more specifically, we're looking at this trend, I guess you could call it, of sleep separation. Moving away from that whole got to share a bed no matter what thing.
In the data skies, we take our flight. Trends and numbers come to life. Colors and charts, they dance and play. Showing truth in a visual way. In GenderDecoded, we uncover truths and stories like no other. In the data waves we find the secret maps of humankind.
Okay, so we all sleep. I mean, it's something we all have to do.
Yep. Pretty much everyone.
But have you ever thought about how couples are sleeping these days?
Oh, yeah. Definitely. It's interesting.
Like, are they still all snuggled up in one bed, or are things changing?
I think you'd be surprised by some of this research.
Because sometimes I feel like all I hear about is sleep divorce.
Yeah, that's become a pretty popular term.
But are people actually splitting up their sleep lives, or is that all hype?
That's what we're going to find out today. We're doing a deep dive into sleep separation patterns, especially for couples.
So we'll get into all the details about sleep divorce and see if it's a real trend or just something people are talking about.
And we'll look at the data and figure out if people are actually choosing sleep over cuddling.
All right, so the big question is the shared marital bed going extinct? Let's jump right into some of the data here.
Well, one interesting thing is that even with all this talk about sleep divorce, about half of men and women still never sleep alone.
Really? Wow. That's a lot more than I would have thought. So the image of the shared bed isn't totally gone.
Not at all. But there is a definite trend towards making sure each person gets the sleep they need.
Okay, so what's making people rethink the whole sharing a bed thing?
Well, I think one of the biggest factors is snoring.
Oh yeah, snoring. I mean, who hasn't had to deal with that at some point?
Right. It's incredibly common. In fact, the research shows that 28% of men snore.
28%? It's a lot.
Yeah, and it's even higher for women. 33.8% of women snore.
Oh, wow. I didn't realize it was more common for women. So how does that impact couples?
Well, think about it. If your partner is snoring every night, you're not getting good sleep.
Yeah, that would definitely be a problem.
And that lack of sleep can lead to some pretty serious issues like heart disease and even diabetes.
Yeah, and I can only imagine how much stress and arguments that could cause in a relationship.
Absolutely. And this really highlights how sleep problems are often tied to things like snoring.
So it's not always a relationship issue. Sometimes it's just biology.
Exactly. Though it is interesting that women tend to be more bothered by snoring than men.
Really? Huh. That is interesting.
But men are more likely to be woken up by their partner having to go to the bathroom at night.
Oh, that's funny. It's like the sleep wars, even when we're supposed to be resting.
Right.
And then there's the whole temperature thing. Sometimes I'm the one waking up my partner because I'm freezing.
Oh, for sure. Women are often colder at night. That's a well-known thing.
So we see all these differences, but what about actually sleeping in separate beds? How common is that?
Well, about 14% of people sleep alone every night.
Okay, so that's a pretty decent amount, but not a majority.
No, but sleeping apart a few times a week is much less common.
So when people talk about sleep divorce, what are they really talking about?
Basically, it's couples who choose to sleep apart regularly. And it's not necessarily because they're having relationship problems.
It's more about making sure they both get good sleep.
Exactly. And they see it as a way to improve their relationship by being well rested.
So what does this trend of sleep separation tell us about relationships today?
I think it shows how marriage norms are changing. People are prioritizing practicality and their own well-being more than ever.
So it's not just about following these traditional ideas of how couples should sleep together.
Right.
But I have to ask, is there any concern about how sleeping apart might affect intimacy?
Well, some people do worry about that. But the data actually shows that the number of people who choose sleep separation because of health reasons far outweighs those concerned about intimacy.
So it seems like many couples are figuring out how to balance both their sleep needs and their relationship.
Yeah, they realize that a good night's sleep is actually crucial for a healthy relationship.
And they're finding all sorts of ways to make it work, right?
Yeah,
Like maybe just sleeping apart sometimes or having separate bedrooms.
exactly. Modern couples are all about being flexible and adaptable, and ultimately that can lead to a stronger relationship. I think that's a great summary.
And on that note, I want to, leave everyone with something to think about. What if sleep is more important for a happy relationship than we realize? And if that's true, what steps can you take to improve your sleep quality? Maybe have that conversation with your partner, see what works for both of you. Maybe try different sleeping arrangements. Who knows? You might just unlock a whole new level of connection and well-being.
Food for thought.
Until next time, everyone.
Sweet dreams.
Sweet dreams.